Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, my lovely pupils out there. Hope you are all having a great day. This is the revision part of our class. If you could recall, the first topic we talked about during our stay in the class is physical fitness, and we said physical fitness is the ability of an individual to carry out his or her daily activities effectively and still have extra energy or reserve energy for any unforeseen occurrence or emergency. And we also talked about the division of physical fitness, because we said physical fitness is divided into two. We have the health related component and we have the performance or the skill related component. Under the health related component, we have muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiovascular respiratory endurance, and the flexibility. Then we also talked about the components that are attached to the skill or the performance related components, which include agility, balance, power, speed, accuracy, and body composition. Okay, after listing all these components, what do they mean? The first one is agility. Agility is the ability to move the body quickly and easily, followed by power. Power is the ability to activate the tension generating site within muscle fiber to the maximum limit. The next one is flexibility, which is the quality through which body joint can bend easily without breaking. And we also talked about balance as a component, and we said balance is the body's ability to remain stable while standing or moving in a particular direction. For example, like walking in a fence, on a fence, sorry, rather. The next component we talked about is endurance, and we say is the extent to which person can withstand an unusual and challenging situation without giving up. We also talked about strength as one of the components of physical fitness, and strength is the capacity or state of being physically fit. The next one we talked about is speed, and speed is the distance or area that is covered by a person over a certain period of time. And how can we know if this person is a fast runner or a slow runner? Definitely we use the formula of what distance all over time, that is the distance cover and the time that that person used in covering those distance. That's how we know if this person is a fast runner or a slow runner. Then the next component we talked about is accuracy, and accuracy is the ability of an individual to hit a target. Like for example, you having a bow and arrow, throwing a bow at an arrow to hit a target is what we call accuracy. The next component we talked about is cardiovascular respiratory endurance, and is the ability of the heart and lungs to work together in partaking in an event. And also we talked about body composition. I said it's the ability of the body to withstand or participate in an event. After talking about components of physical fitness, okay, how are components of physical fitness measured? How do we measure them? The first component we are going to take a look at is agility. As you all know, or as you heard me said earlier, and even during the class, is the ability to move the body quickly and easily from one place to another or from one direction to another. And the measure or the activities we use in measuring if someone is agile or not is zigzag running test. And I cited an example during our class that if you sighted a snake coming towards you, how are you going to run in order for that snake not to get to you? You run a zigzag run, because if you said you are going to run a straight run, definitely the snake will easily get to you. The next component we talked about during our class period is power, and we said power is the ability to activate the tension generating site within muscle fiber to the maximum limit. And the activities we use to measure power include vertical jump test, which is also called the sergeant test, and we also have the next one as the broad standing long jump. And I remembered we all demonstrated those events. The next component we talked about after power is the flexibility, and flexibility is the quality through which body joint can bend easily without breaking. How do we measure flexibility? by engaging in an activity known as straight knee toe touch, which the abbreviation is what? SKTT test. After talking about flexibility and the activities we use in measuring flexibility, we also talked about balance, and we said balance is the ability of the body to remain stable while standing or moving in a particular direction. And the activities we use in measuring if someone is having a balance, or that someone is balanced in his body, is a beam walk. Or let's take an example of a fence. You walking on a fence, if you are well balanced walking on that fence, it means you have the ability of what? A balanced person. After talking about components of physical fitness and physical fitness itself, we talked about benefits of physical fitness. How does it benefit us as an individual? One, it makes the muscle of the body to be fit. The next one, it prevents illnesses. The third one, it prevents physiological problems. And the last benefit we talked about is that the body will respond quickly to emergency situation. Then, after talking about physical fitness, the benefits, and so on, we also talked about athletics. And under athletics, you all know that athletics is divided into track and field. But now we went directly to the track part, which is a relay and hurdle race. Relay is a type of race that is made by team, usually comprised of 4 members. Each of the competing teams has one baton, which will be transferred from one teammate to another at designated point and distance during the race. If, for example, if a race is 4 by 100 meter, that is, each of the 4 team members will run 100 meter each. We also talked about what a baton is. A baton is a short light stick about 1 foot long that is passed from one runner to another during relay races. Batons are either cylindrical and are made up of what? Wood, rubber, plastic, or lightweight metal. After talking about what a relay race is, I also mentioned the types of relays. The first one is 4 by 100 meter races, that is 4 individuals each running 100 meters. The next one is 4 by 200 meter relay races, that is each of the 4 team athletes will run 200 meter each. We also talked about 4 by 400 meter relay races, that is each of the 4 runners will run 400 meter each, that is each of them is expected to run round the track 1 times. And also we have the medley relay race, that is in this one each athlete will choose the type of relay race he know how to run best. Maybe since you are 4, one will run 100 meter, one will run 200 meter, the other will run 400 meter, the other will run 800 meter. That is, it is not a race that each of them will run the same type of race, but they are going to run differently, but as a team. Then after talking about what types of relay race are, we talked about the basic skills that are required in a relay race. The first one is the batting grip. Batting grip is the way you handle the batting, that is the way you hold the batting. The next one is the takeoff, that is once the command go is said or the gun is blown, you are going to start your race. That is the takeoff. And also have the visual and the non-visual takeoff of the batting. The visual batting, you'll be looking at your teammate coming and you are going to get the batting from him, whereby the non-visual, you are only allowed to look at your shoulder blade and collect the batting from your teammate that is running towards you. After talking about relay race, we also talked about hurdle race. And we said in hurdle race, obstacles are placed at designated point, that is fixed distance within the racing distance. Athletes will cross the obstacle as they race to the finishing point. There are 10 hurdles to cross in 110 meter race. Remember, in hurdles we have 110 meter race, we don't have 100 meter race, because you have 10 hurdles to cross, and in those 10 hurdles that you are going to cross in 100-meter race, the spacing at each hurdle is 9.14 meters. After talking about what hurdle race entails, we also talked about the basic skills that are required in hurdle race. The first one is the starting position. You are going to what? You are going to engage yourself in a crutch arm bullet start. That is, you are going to bend very close to the starting line and you wait for the instruction. The second one is the approach to the first hurdle. Once you approach the first hurdle, you are going to turn your leg, how you are going to make the stride in order to jump the hurdle without what? Allowing yourself to fall. The next one is the clearing of the hurdle. The next one also after clearing of hurdle is landing. That is, after jumping over the hurdle, how do you land? And the fifth basic skills we talked about is the stride between hurdle. That is, once you are getting close to the hurdle, you are going to make a stride that will lead you to jump the hurdle very well. And after that, we talked about the finishing. That is, when you reach the finish line. And after talking about the relay and hurdles, we also talked about high jump. What is high jump? In high jump, a horizontal bar is placed at a measured height on two vertical poles. The athletes, that's the competitors, are expected to jump unaided over the bar. The organizers will continue to raise the bar for competitors to jump over until a winner emerges. As I told you during our class period, that the horizontal bar, once all of you were able to cross the horizontal bar, it will be raised continuously until when the winner emerges. That is, the athlete that jumps the highest race with highest jump, without allowing the horizontal crossbar to fall down. So the winner is the athlete who can jump on it over the highest measured point. And after talking about what high jump is, we also talked about what the basic skills that are required in high jump. We have the styles, the basic styles in high jump. The first one is the flow. Athletes fly across measured bars with the hands and shoulder crossing the bar before other parts of the body. That type of style is called the flow. After talking about the flow, the next one is the straddle. In this type of techniques, the jumpers cross the measured bar face down. And after talking about the second one, which is the straddle, we talked about the western roll. In the western roll, the athlete will first lift the leg that is more distance from the leg that is far. And after the western roll, we also said we have the fourth type of style we have in high jump is the eastern roll. The athlete approach the bar at 90 degrees. That is, he uses the right angle, and that is why we call it the eastern roll. And we also have the scissors, which is the fifth style in high jump. This style makes athletes to land on their foot. And with this, we come to the end of our revision class. In case you are having any difficulty or you have any question, you write down your name in the comment section and your question, and inshallah your question will be answered.